Good evening, this is Kuro and number 1. Got a ranked replay for you. Ow! Stabbing me with a pen. Didn't like that one? Here, try this one. So, going over the game matchmaking. Enemy team has the Thunderer, Yamato, Des Moines, Moskva, Summers, Z-52, Shimakaze, Grozavoy. And we're going to kick this one off. This one is a really good game showing cap control in a Kaba. So right out of the gate, the initial deployment, I'm a little far on the A side. Most of the time I like to try to play this open flank here. You can work this way. Sometimes I will come down here if I've got, already good kiting ships up here. But in this case, I'm going to push up here to C-cap, try to support my Khabarovsk, and do what needs to be done. Now, right away, I'm noticing me coming up here, it's me and the Khabarovsk are pulling a lot of support for, what's supposed to be a kiting flank. So just going to type in the chat, asking one of the battleships to stay because we're really light down here with only a Khabarovsk and the double Shima at A-cap. So get my reticle set up. That's something I do every game before I get into contact. Sometimes you'll actually see me check it multiple times just to make sure. This is me trying to tell the Kremlin, hey, one of you battleships need to help at A, and ideally the Kremlin's better there. That's more of a tanky spot because usually the enemy team really fights over this. So chat's been fairly salty already if you've been paying attention, and it's more people that don't understand what I'm trying to do with Kaba, and that's okay because not everybody's gonna get it. So we're just gonna do our thing, push up here. I get detected, so I know there's a DD around here, and I'm looking to see if the DD has any support coming around the island, and hey, it's one of my favorite targets. So, just gonna start doing what I do to Des Moines, just kiting away, getting shot at by the Thunder. Summers makes a mistake, opens up on me, instantly switching target to the Summers. And you'll note when I kite away, I just point my stern at the Des Moines.
Battery critical.
Thank you, Janet. I've named my headset Janet, by the way. She talks enough in my videos, figure she needs a name. So, dealing with the Summers, just point my stern, angle away to the Des Moines, make myself, hard to hit, an unappetizing target. And now that the Summers is smoked up, I'm going to continue working on the Des Moines. Trying to pressure him. My Khabarovsk is, he's, rushing this guy. And this could potentially be a really good play or a disaster because he's got two sets of torps. Theoretically, he can kill the Des Moines and the Thunderer. So he does take out the Des Moines. Now he's got the Thunderer to deal with. So again, switching target. Whatever I can do to get this guy's HP down will help. And Khabarovsk he's going for it. No brakes on that train. Make sure I don't eat Summers torps. And unfortunately he misses a couple torps, and this Thunderer now is he's kind of got a second lease on life, and my Khabarovsk is in a really bad spot with the Summers able to shoot him, as well as the Thunderer. I see the Thunder turning. He's going to shoot me. But there's not a lot I can do about it at this point. Just need to get this guy put down as quickly as we can. I guess, I'm assuming he thought that I was going to try to speed juke him, and he shot way behind me. And the Republic actually puts him down. Apparently he was able to get shots over there. And now just jumping all over the Summers, who's been, unfortunately for him, he's been trying to shoot at us outside of smoke. And now he's caught without any sort of cover, and he's going to pay a pretty heavy price for this. So trying to push the Summers and the Cap as aggressively as possible. I don't want this guy to get away. He shoots, that makes it easy for me. Just going to keep pushing up. We're going to get him here eventually. And Summers burns down, and that crushes the northern flank on this map. And we're going to try to take this quickly. In response, the enemy team has stormed ACAP, killed one of our Shimikazes, and right now they have a points advantage and a cap advantage, even though they're down a ship. So me and the Hindenburg are going to take B cap. The Shimikaze is coming up to towards B. And in hindsight, he doesn't need to. This is already secured. He is going to make a play that's going to help me out a lot here, because I make a potato move here. I'm playing this game with number 1 sitting on my lap, and I catch an island. But for now, we see Shimikaze getting ambushed in the middle. I think maybe this Shimikaze was following his RPF, but this Shimikaze's caught in a bad way. He comes around the island. We're just going to start lighting into him, and he just melts. So now we've kind of secured even the entire northern end of the map. The enemy team is starting to get pretty isolated in this area of the map, and this is kind of a bad play that I make here, where I duck in between these two islands. You're going to see me sail in between here. I don't need to. The Shimikaze's coming through here. He's going to provide any of the vision. I could just stay back here and farm, and this is a misplay. So I basically just potato my turn and steer right into the point of the island. Now here's the Rockstar Shima move. Boom. Comes in laying this glorious smoke screen, and I'm going to use the hell out of it. Now I suspect that this Yamato can actually shoot in smoke, so if you look, I'm not just relying on, moving back and forth in smoke. I'm also changing my depth in the smoke. For starters, I'm not in the smoke, I'm behind it. But I'm also turning in and changing my depth in the smoke, which is going to make me even harder to hit. This is a really good way to try to avoid blind fire, and can help keep you safe. So Yamato's showing a lot of broadside here. Switching to AP. Looking for that AP penetration damage. Not really getting it there. Gonna switch to the stern of the ship. Looks like it's unsaturated and really juicy, and you can see just, you hit that and It's just tasty. Nothing like yammy booty. So now that he's really starting to angle, it appears he just DCP'd. Switching back to HE. Want to get some fires on this dude and really just try to take him out of the game. Got one fire. I think my Hindenburg just picked up another fire. And we're just going to keep working this guy into the dirt. Now again, I could do all of this from outside these island chains. Right now I'm a little in like a convoluted space where Khaba, with its speed and its acceleration, you really prefer open water to keep you from running into islands, things like that. And you know, you're seeing I've constantly got to be looking at islands and what's going on. But at this stage of the game, the enemy team is capping C-cap. So either the Grozavoy Z52 or both are on C-cap. And my Shimakaze is circling around to A-cap. Now this is a nice move because this is going to set up a nice, you know, pick. I disagree with this move with the Republic trying to push in and save the cap. His best bet, just play at distance, farm the Moskva. He's got support coming. You know, this cap, you know, even now, you know, 3 minutes for the game to win. And once the Shima gets on cap, that's gonna more than double. So here, just, you know, trying to harass this this Moskva. I do get lucky with a fire there. And the Moskva is going to damage control that. Thought I was actually going to have some consistent vision on the Moskva for a minute. I don't. So he's broadside, going to keep following up with AP. Honestly, HE would probably be a better option here. You know, that's just in hindsight. The Republic does end up going down to the DDs, but he's able to take the Grozavoy with him. And now, going to talk about cap control. This Moskva, he's got really two choices. They don't know about A. He can go back and defend A. I'm trying to bait this Moskva away from A cap right now. And I'm just being cheeky as hell using these islands to bait this guy, and I'm not taking any damage in exchange for it. But I'm setting up the play that if this Moskva goes to B cap, I can double around and try to pick the fight with the Moskva, because what's going to happen once my Shima caps this, the enemy is basically left with a choice. They're going to need to do something to win this game. So I'm looking here. I'm trying to see, is this Moskva going to try to defend C? What's going on? I'm detected. That tells me the Z52 is near. I get a lucky spot on the Moskva here. Looks like he's going up to A cap, or excuse me, B cap, or pushing this channel. I'm pushing aggressively here. I'm seeing if I can pick that Z52 up before the Moskva rounds this island, and unfortunately that's not going to work. But that's what I'm trying to do right now, and that's going to put me in a little predicament that I'm going to talk a little bit more in depth. Try not to hit torpedoes. Easy peasy. And Moskva comes out. Now, this distance, this isn't something that I really want to fight the Moskva. I'm gonna be detected regardless because of the Z52. But this Moskva appears to be legendary, and he's got very tight dispersion, and you can really start to abuse these Moskvas if they're not able to predict how you're going to dodge, because that tight accuracy works both ways against them. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Um, that tight accuracy requires a really precise aim, and if they don't have that, they're just going to splash mostly all around my ship or not really hit me hard enough. And in the meantime, by just presenting a narrow profile, just my back guns, I'm an incredibly hard target to hit. And if I get a fire or anything like that, my fire damage percentage wise is going to do a lot more HP wise than he will to me. Now we both have repairs, things like that, and he does have significantly more HP than I do. This really isn't the fight that I'm looking to pick, so I'm not gonna pick it. What I'm gonna do here is I'm kiting out to a safe distance, and once I get to a safer distance, I'm going to turn into C-cap, because this Moskva at this point, a minute 46, he has to either kill me, which is unlikely with my HP. I still have another repair, so he needs to get on B-cap, and that's going to open up this option for C-cap, where I can rush down here and either step in the cap or just, kill the Z-52 and take the cap. The Z-52 with my HP is probably not going to be able to hold against me unless I eat torpedoes or make some severe misplay. So that's the game here. Uh, again, a big part of being a gunboat is picking the fights that you want. This isn't really a fight that I want. I'm kind of forced into it right now because I'm spotted by the Z-52. So I'm just going to run with it and just mitigate damage. And any damage I get on the Moskva, that's just gravy. Um, and it's kind of an is what it is kind of scenario. So going to go ahead and let this play out. I'm starting to get more to a safer distance, and you're going to see me make my turn into to the cap. There we go. Now Z-52 should have been running, or he should have been ready with smoke and hydro or something. He wasn't. He made this really easy. And that's Z-52 down. And because I'm beyond spotting range on the Moskva, I instantly drop off detection. And now the Moskva, he's pretty much screwed. He's not fast enough to get back here to make this play. Um, and I will be able to cap C, and he's never going to have a chance to catch me. And if the Shima's smart, the Shima is exiting already, and it's GG. People, they need to understand that Kaba still can do cap control. They still can set up plays for caps. It's just for most of the game, they're still playing around, um, cruiser damage, playing like a light cruiser, and punishing ships. And you know, maybe with enough of these videos, people will start to get it that Russian DDs can be played around the team. Um, being perfectly honest, prior to me really digging and researching in on how to utilize these things effectively, I was in the camp that I didn't like to see a Russian gunboat in ranked, unless it was maybe a Grozovoy or something like that. Um, so that's the game right there. What you want, baby? No, you can't have my sunglasses or a flashlight. So, getting close to rank 5. Nice 2.3 base XP. Complimenting the Shima for his bomb-ass smoke. That is a very nice play to see. And the boys that went north with me, they did some work up there. throwing the compliments out anytime you run into guys that, hey, what are you running off with? Nope. After the El Marco incident and you with the permanent ink giving yourself enough tattoos to look like an MS-13 member, we're not doing that again. Yeah, I know. Daddy's mean. You want the tablet? Okay, there's tablet. Sorry about that, guys. Just ticking through the results. This really is kind of an unremarkable game as far as damage wise, especially spotting wise. Normally, I've got a lot more spotting damage than this. It's just I was smoked up for part of it, had islands in the way for other parts. So I didn't get nearly the spotting damage that I normally do. Um, but I wanted to include this game because it had a couple really good lessons on you know cap control, and also um, fighting ships that you'd rather not fight. Sometimes you're forced into that situation where you can, or where you have to, like I was in this, and you got to figure out ways to, stay alive, mitigate the damage, and get to a better position. And, other times, you've got to try to make that kill. And fortunately, in this case, I was in a position where I didn't need to kill the Moskva. I could push another cap, and if that destroyer didn't uh, didn't respect the firepower that a Kaba has, um, he's going to get wrecked. And that's what happened with that Z52. And in hindsight, me, just with my experience, if the Z52 would have tried to smoke up and hydro me, he would have died very quickly uh, to the blind fire with his HP that low. Um, you just can't do that against a good player, and it's one of the limitations of a Z52. You really need to move that ship in smoke if you're going to try to do that against a good player. Um, so anyway, another Z52 game with some different aspects of the ship and things you need to worry about. Hope you guys enjoyed the game. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. And I hope you have a good night, and I will talk to you later.